Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engine. I actually have a lot of places to go to this time, so we're just going to jump right into it. And, which button is it? There we go. One of them was RS8204? 4, yeah. 0, 7, 1, 0, 2, there we go, 3, 997 dash 899. What not found? Is that 4? Oh, God damn it. I see what I did wrong here. It's been a long day. Give me a break. Hey! It does exist. Flop. Lovely. There's 2 with life. And it's all about that graphic glitches. Right then. So, what's its binary pair? Screw it. Let's look at the lovely planet here with multicellular aerial life. If the graphics will come back. Graphics, hello? Hello? Ah, bugger me. 1 second. Right, if I move anywhere out of this position, the graphics die. So let's just go to this one instead. Gah. You know, one of these days, I'm gonna go onto the forum, the Space Engine forum, and see if anyone else has this problem. Because I can't actually... I don't know what the deal is. It just seems that... Oh, whatever is causing the problem, it's this direction. Alright. So I can't actually look at it directly. I'll have to look at it like this. Because there's something over there that's causing the graphics to die. That's a fairly pretty planet. It's abiogenetic, marine terrestrial. What's the atmosphere looking like? Mostly carbon dioxide, a bit of oxygen, some nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, water, argon, and helium. Very little of those two, but a lot of carbon dioxide. Oh, that's just lovely. I want to go to the planet here, but it kills my graphics more than anything else. So, yeah. Shit, that freaks me out here. Now, I was told there's a thing you can do. That allows you to find, like a star finder, that allows you to find planetary systems and stuff. Oh, shit. Oh, god damn it. Right then. What was I talking about? Right, let's get the hell out of here, because it's breaking me. There was apparently a thing you can do to find a planet or star finder. That allows you to determine, like specifically look for planets or like systems of a certain type. And I didn't actually check to see where it was before starting the video. Is this it? This looks like it. Although that might be just like, what is this? No, I think that's something else. What's this? That's my journey log. I don't need that. This? Star browser. Ooh, alright. Filter settings. Okay, this might be it. Doesn't matter. Objects, main star, any, object search, any. Parameters. Scorched. Any doesn't matter. Exotic life doesn't matter. Hell's a Planemo. Don't ignore it. Oh, here we go. Sun count. 7+. Let's try 100 light years. 1,000 light year. Okay, maybe ones with 6 stars. Always fun. Now what was I do? Where was that? There we go. Filter settings, star count. Let's do 5. Okay. Within one. Anyone? Nope. Let's try 4 suns. I think I know the reason why it's doing that, and I'll try to fix that for next time. But yeah, it seems that I'm not finding anything more than 3 stars. Yeah, see, there we go. Now I'm finding ones with 3 systems, but going above that, it's not happening. Any. So let's just, I'll have to come back to that when I'm in a more dense galaxy. I've been asked to go to Andromeda. I'll probably do that at some point. Alright, I was asked to go to a specific place, which I don't even think is real, but, we'll see. UDF. Oh, no, it might actually be real. 4, 2, 3. And then I was asked to go to a Planimos at 110 degrees. What the hell is UDF 423? Because it's not an object, doesn't seem. I probably should look into these things more before I actually start recording, but that would destroy some of the fun. There's UDXS and UGCs, but I'm not saying a UDF. I'll have to do some more research on that and look into it, because I don't know. Aircraft mode, like hell. Oh, let's go to the last place. Apparently there's a really pretty Terra that I have to go check out. And I like pretty things, so I will definitely do that. 419-28-0-0-116. There should be a planet in this system. There is, okay. And I have to go to the 7th planet, because it's apparently very pretty. And I like pretty things. Oh, it's a ways away. Well, I guess it's in a different galaxy, so I guess that makes sense. Oh yeah, there's the colliding galaxy. He mentioned that. Alright, so far we are looking good. And the 7th one is right here, and it apparently looks really pretty. And I like pretty things. I really do. Okay, go away. No, go away. That is pretty. Very blue and lovely. Look at that sky, the colliding galaxies. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I'm liking this. It's very blue. What's its atmosphere looking like? That's the important part here. Oh my. It's kind of poisonous. It's kind of very poisonous. But, huh, exciting. No life on it though. That's sad. Oh well, we can carry on. Actually, let's go look at its moon. It has a couple moons. Actually, 7 moons, but this moon looks interesting. This moon is more habitable. It still has H2S and sulfur dioxide. And then the ethane groups, ooh, molecular nitrogen. Interesting. But yeah, no, that's quite poisonous. Goddamn planets and their poisonous atmospheres. Well, I guess Titan has a poisonous atmosphere, and I kind of love it. And Venus has an incredibly poisonous atmosphere, and I love it too. This one has, like, no atmosphere. Well, it probably has a very, very thin veil of one. No, it apparently doesn't. Because, like, most things, they have, I guess you can call them a quote-unquote atmosphere. Like, Europa has an atmosphere, quote-unquote, but by that, it's more like it's a very, very thin envelope of oxygen molecules that kind of cling to the surface. Triton around Neptune has an atmosphere too, but again, same kind of thing. It's a very thin clinging of gas around the surface. But Triton does have clouds. Now, they're not clouds like you would recognize here. They're very, very, very thin wisps of, I think, like ice crystals that just form just above the surface. But again, the pressure, the atmospheric pressure is so thin that it's basically the same as being like, it's more or less like being in the orbit of Earth, in a low orbit. So there's some free gas around, but it's so tiny. Also, the graphics broke again, so I'm going to have to close down and reopen this. I promise I will check the forums and see if there's fixes to this, because it's really, really annoying. It's like, I think it's comets, bright stars, some moons, some planets, and it's basically everything. If I look at it wrong, it will cause the graphics to break, so I need to look into that. Now, I was asked to go to Andromeda. Oh, that was a close one. F3, come on. No. There we go. Okay. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Androgynous? Huh. No, let's go to Andromeda Galaxy. Oy vey. Andromeda. Isn't it lovely? I think so. Let's go check out its wonderful world. You know, in the Star Trek universe, everyone from Andromeda are assholes. I've mentioned this before, but it makes me laugh every time. Because every time there's an invader from Andromeda, they're always just like the worst. Let's find interesting locales here. Ooh, a carbon star. Watch as it breaks the graphics. Yeah. So I can't look at carbon stars either. But I can look at it from the side. It's kind of like don't look at the sun directly. Anyways. Ugh. What am I talking about now? I can toss that away. I've been doing some research and work on anti-gravity recently. Now, when I say anti-gravity, in my context, I'm not talking about nullifying gravity or making a reverse gravity thing. It's fairly nut-jobby. I'm just more talking about, like, you know, overcoming gravity with a different force. Kind of like, technically an airplane falls into that category, because, like, ooh, it doesn't mitigate, it doesn't, like, do a reverse gravity force. Ugh, it's graphics. But what it does is it overcomes gravity with a separate force. Yeah, actually it's interesting, because, oh, look at that. I can't look directly at things, basically. It's actually interesting because the popular version of anti-gravity, Apogetic Marine, of anti-gravity is like, you know, oh, you make a lot of carbon dioxide and oxygen and nitrogen. It is like you basically make a field that undoes gravity, or that, I guess you could say like an opposite gravity force, but that isn't necessarily possible with the modern day understandings of relativity. Now, originally, before relativity became mainstream, the concept was a little more, had more credence, I suppose. We didn't know better, but it was basically like when gravity was classified as a force, like an actual force like the other ones. However, gravity isn't a force like the other forces that we know of, because all the other forces are carried by a particle. For example, the electromagnetic force is carried by photons. I think the strong nuclear force is held together by gluons. Or is that the weak one? The one that holds quarks together in atomic nuclei. Anyways, but gravity doesn't have a particle that we know of. And as a result, according to relativity, gravity isn't a force in that sense, because gravity is actually it's the result of following distortions in space-time due to localized mass energy. So basically, when you have a large mass, it makes the fabric of space-time kind of warp into a distorted shape that kind of pulls towards the center of mass, and gravity is basically things following these curves. Now, if that's the case, then anti-gravity in the sense of mitigating gravity is impossible, because since gravity isn't a force, you can't really control it unless you can control the fabric of space-time, which would require magic. However, there are some hopes, I suppose. Like, if gravity is found to be a force, like if there is a force carrier, hypothetically known as the graviton, then that would mean that, you know, there might be a way to actually control gravity, but the graviton would probably have no mass, therefore it'd be really hard to control and manipulate. Now, there is actually an idea that you can use negative mass and negative matter, I suppose, for anti-gravity. But no, it's like nowhere in relativity does it say it can't exist. Ooh, I saw that. Oh, I fucked up. Nowhere. Oh, there we go. Nowhere does it say that negative mass can't exist. The problem here is that we don't know what negative mass would entitle, like what it would be. But interesting enough, actually. Oh, look at that. Negative mass. It's like, if you had like a lump of negative mass, it would actually fall towards normal matter. Like, it wouldn't be repulsed by it. Oxygen, CO2, abiogenic marine. Like, it wouldn't necessarily fall towards it. Because although the gravity is negative, like the gravity is repulsive, the negative mass, according to one of Einstein, or not Einstein, according to Newton's law, F equals ma, would make it respond by accelerating towards. It would accelerate in the opposite direction of the force. So basically, if you had a lump of negative matter, it would fall towards normal matter, because F equals me basically means force acting on an object is equal to the mass of an object times its acceleration. It's physics, it's fun. However, normal mass would fall away from negative mass. So it's actually an idea. If you can get two equal masses, like, of negative and positive mass, and put them in line, you would have the negative mass being pushed away from the positive mass and flying away, but the normal matter would no, it would be the opposite way. You would have the negative mass being pulled towards the positive mass, but the positive mass would be falling away from the negative mass. So you could theoretically get a linear inline motion out of that. But that requires negative matter, and we don't know if it exists or not. Abiogenic unicellular subglacial. Interesting. So like it's a fun idea, but again, with our current understandings of gravity, it isn't a force in the conventional sense. It's not a force via subatomic particles. It's a force in physical distortions of space-time. I'm fairly confident that gravitons or something like them might exist in some form. Just because, I don't know, it makes sense that gravity would have a force carrier to me. I don't know why, it just does. But I'm not a physicist, so don't quote me on that. Unless it turns out to be right, in which case me and like millions of other physicists who actually have degrees can say, oh, look at that. But no, it's just it's an interesting idea. Oh, it's going away from me. I guess time. There we go. Now it's like when I'm talking about I'm working on anti-gravity, quote unquote. Again, it's more like I'm not wanting to mitigate or make a repulsive gravity field, because again, that is counter to general relativity, and unless more information, like unless we learn more that finds a loophole in that, that's kind of damning on that idea. However, you can apply an opposite force to overcome gravity. So basically, like, you know, rockets already do that, but it's very messy and loud and annoying. I'm thinking more like inertial, like an inertial mass, or even using the electromagnetic force to overcome gravity. That's been tossed around a lot, actually. That's kind of one of the basis of Heim theory. Will it ever go anywhere? I don't know, and I don't actually think it will. Is it fun? Yes, and that's the important part. So much what I do is just, you know, is it fun? Yeah. Could it work? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm hardly funded or equipped well enough to do any serious research, so I have to pick my battles based on what's interesting. Kind of like how I also want to do some experiments with heavy ion bombardment of lithium, kind of like a neutronic fusion, but instead of using protons, I want to use actual deuterium nuclei. Ideally, I would need lithium-6, and because that, it would produce helium-3 in the reaction. It would be far more efficient. However, lithium-6 is very hard to get, so I'd probably end up only be able to get lithium-7, which I can get. It's what's used in batteries and stuff. But I'd probably actually get it from a lab supplier in pure form and not strip batteries, because that's only people who do that are people who want to make meth. So, oh, look at that. We have probably subglacier, if I had to guess. Atmospheric. Oh, that's a thin atmosphere, I suppose. General. Yeah, abogenic. Subglacial. Lovely. But no, so like I have these ideas and stuff. I just need to actually work on some of them. I was actually talking to somebody at a supplier that makes superconducting wire, usually for particle accelerators and stuff. And I was talking about different materials to use for higher temperatures, because I don't have access to liquid helium, which is what you need for a lot of these things. But it's apparently hard to find. I know you can make, I think, aluminum superconduct using liquid nitrogen, but it's really inefficient and stupid. So, I don't know. Oh, look at that, more life. Yeah, so like it is fun to go on to like the parts of the internet where people are, working on anti-gravity machines and free energy, because again, it's all bullshit. Like, it literally is just all bullshit. But you find interesting ideas there that may have other uses. That looks kind of like our moon. Like, I was looking at this one video, this guy was trying to make this anti-gravity machine that didn't follow any natural laws, and the guy was also like a conspiracy theorist who believed in like alien communication and stuff, but he devised this spindle rotary system for it, which I was like, that can actually work for other, feasible things. So again, you find interesting things through crazy people, mostly hydrogen. Who would have guessed? Unicellular, aerial, abiogenic, and it's organic. Lovely. Well, that's 23 minutes. I think we can leave it up there. I have to drink my tea and work on some stuff. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with more later, and I'll see if I can fix the graphical glitches, because oh, that's not a graphical glitch. That's me crashing. Where's the graphical glitch? There. That glitch is really annoying, and I don't like it. It's like bright things make the game break. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and space.